I'm reading an article about technical analysis for some of the precious metals, and some people are predicting another crash of the precious metals as the new variant from South Africa makes it across the world, and markets react to that. The margin calls start to hit, and some people are thinking about selling some of their precious metals now in order to buy it back at a lower price. I gotta point out an example of myself trying this, and I don't think what I did was very unique. Now, in 2011, when silver was, I think, about $40 an ounce, I had the same idea. I would sell some of my silver and buy it back when it was $20 an ounce. And fortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of silver at the time. I had just started buying silver. I was a PhD candidate. I had been investing in silver for about 3 years. Not to mention, the year before that, I lost a good part of my portfolio because I got myself involved in a relationship with a girl. So I didn't have a whole lot. But, so I sold some of my silver with the idea that when silver was $20 an ounce, I would buy twice as much back, right? And, well, I'll let you look at what silver prices have done since then. But the idea was that I would buy it back at $20 an ounce. The reality is I didn't buy nearly as much back as I thought I would, and probably not as much as I sold. And the reason for that is that cash will just disappear, right? It's very easy to justify something that needs to be done when there's cash in your pocket. When you're broke, you find other ways around the same problem, right? I mean, stuff is going to happen one way or another, but when your money's tied up in silver, you tend to be a little bit more creative. Let's put it that way. Just my own experience. Now, since 2011, I haven't sold any silver since 2011. What I have done instead is dollar cost average throughout the last 10 years. Right now, think about what has happened throughout the last 10 years. We had in 2015 we had the Eurozone crisis. The dollar was strong. We had when the Swiss franc lost its peg with the euro, and the dollar strengthened as a result of that. And I think silver hit a low of $13 an ounce. We had the beginning of COVID when silver hit $12 an ounce, if I remember correctly. We had the interest rate hikes in 2018 when silver corrected to $14 an ounce. We had some highs in there, but we had the beauty of dollar cost averaging is you buy a whole lot more silver when it's lower. When it was higher, here's what I tend to do also, on top of dollar cost averaging, and this is the secret. When silver is low, I'll buy things that don't have any premium on them, right? 1,000-ounce silver bars or maybe 100-ounce silver bars. When silver is higher, I'll buy silver coins that haven't kept up in terms of premiums, right? So for example, I have a bunch of Walking Liberty half dollars. I would say at least a few $100 face value of Walking Liberties. I have when silver was really high in 2011, 2012, I was buying Morgan and Peace silver, not very high grade ones, but they lost their premium, right? When silver's $40, $50 an ounce, you're not going to see much of a premium on Morgan and Peace silver dollars. When silver was, at the beginning of the pandemic, I bought a 1,000-ounce silver bar. I bought a few other silver bars since then, especially during the corrections over the last year and a half. Not 1,000-ounce silver bars, but a few kilos, a few 10-ounce silver bars here and there. And I'll let you do the math of what would happen if you dollar cost averaged from 2011 to now. Now, sometimes I am tempted to buy more during the dip, right? More than what dollar cost averaging would call for, like I did at the beginning of the pandemic, like I did in, let's see, when did I buy the other 1,000-ounce silver bars? I have 3 of them now. I bought one in 2014 because I had just gotten a little bit of a windfall. I bought another one in 2018. Had a little bit of a windfall there too. And the thing about those windfall purchases on top of the dollar cost averaging is that even though I was buying into a dip, right, I wasn't tempted to sell it when the dip ended in some way, right? With the trying to take advantage of the peaks, it works in reverse, right? You sell when you don't tend to buy it back, right? It just goes to show that you have to get in the accumulation mentality, right? Yes, mathematically, dollar cost averaging, especially if you can do astrology, especially if you can do technical analysis, mathematically it might not be the best strategy, but it's psychologically very easy to stick with, right? It's kind of like some people who are professional poker players. They know the math behind it, they know everything, what they should do, or maybe not so much a poker player, maybe a card counter. They know all the math behind it, but if you can't resist the psychology of doing something you shouldn't, then it's not going to work, right?